Let's have a quick chat about one little hack that most businesses aren't doing that will lead to you getting better results, lead to your staff being happier, you being happier, and almost eradicating the risk of burnout. So there's this big hustle culture at the moment about if you want to get ahead, do more, graft, graft, graft. And obviously that's got a level of truth to it. You know, if we want to do well, we've got to work hard. But I work with a lot of different businesses, big and small. And what I've never had is I go and sit with a business that are stressed, that aren't making enough progress. And there's a group of people that are sat there going, we just can't really be bothered to work, right? That's never happened. All of these teams, all of these owners are willing to graft. Okay, so it's not that there's a lack of this drive to do the graft or the actual graft happening. The thing that isn't happening is people doing less better. And the key word here is prioritization. It's actually quite easy for us, if we're passionate, to work hard, okay? But it's quite difficult for us to say no to things. And that's where the magic switch happens with businesses, right? And teams and culture. So if you want to get more done, you've got to do less better. Think about it. We live in the age of speed. We live in the age of hyper connection. We can do anything quickly. So it's not actually who can do the most anymore that wins. It's who can do the few things that matter really well better. So it's a key skill that you need to learn as a business owner or even as a manager or a leader and as a team is to do less better and to prioritize. And there's a really good framework to help you do this, and it's called Objectives, Key Results. There's a whole book on it called Measure What Matters by John Doerr. But essentially what this does and why it's better than SMART goals is the problem with SMART goals is you can have as many SMART goals as you want. So you'll commit to all these things and then you don't get anything done because you're overwhelmed and stressed and doing a lot of things not very well. What Objectives, Key Results do is they do two things very well. They force you to choose a maximum of 3 to 5. All the businesses that I work with in teams at the start, we actually focus on 3 because one objective turns into quite a lot of actions. Okay, so they force us to focus on what's the 3 to 5 things that are going to make the biggest difference to the business this year. I would say start with 3. Okay, if we could only achieve 3 things this year that are going to make the biggest difference, what will they be? Asking that question will force you and your team to get really focused on what really matters and stop trying to do everything. Okay, that's the first thing. And then the second thing it does is it makes you apply key results. So if we're going to be successful at this thing, how do we know it's worked? Key result, key result, key result. And you should have between 1 and 5 key results. Obviously, you're going to have a revenue objective. Obviously, you're going to have a profit objective. So those are just 2 kind of standard ones that all businesses have. But what we want to ask is the questions below that. Like for us to hit our revenue, for us to hit our profit, what do we need to do this year? We need to get better at marketing as measured by ABCD. We need to up our prices and up our client satisfaction. We need to sell more of this product that's profitable and less of this. We need to work more with these clients that are in our top 10 to 20% that make more money for us and are easier to work with. So do that as an exercise. Get your team together and go, what's the 3 things that are going to make the biggest difference to the business? And that changes everything because it will force you to prioritize and focus on what really matters and stop trying to do everything. It will also bring up this fear that we all have of saying no to things, because we think if we say no to a thing, that might be the thing that we should be doing. It might be a mistake. So it's actually easier just to say yes to everything. But by saying yes to everything, by default, we're saying no to doing anything really well. So master the art of prioritization. You'll get more done. You'll have less overwhelm, less stress, and less risk of burnout.